Breaking news from Canada Matters. It's happening. Not in decades. Not in theory.
But now,
A political movement once dismissed as fringe has now gripped the West, and this time, it's not letting go. 4 provinces. 1 mission. Total separation from Ottawa. And today, new leaks confirm what many feared. The countdown to Canada's possible breakup has officially begun. What led us here? Who's behind this? And most importantly, what happens next? You're about to find out everything.
stay tuned.
Because if what we've uncovered is true, the country you live in may not exist by the end of next year. It started quietly. A few protests, a few articles, a few premiers asking questions. But by March 2025, it turned into something bigger. Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and British Columbia had formed a so-called Strategic Autonomy Council. Publicly, it was described as a regional coordination effort. Privately, it was a war room. According to leaked emails from a high-ranking Alberta official, the group began drafting a declaration of pre-independence, modeled off historical documents from pre-Brexit Britain and Catalonia. Then, in April, things escalated. A leaked video from a private summit in Kelowna showed all 4 provincial leaders standing together, arms locked, declaring, "We are no longer subjects of central rule." Ottawa denied it. The media downplayed it. But the clip went viral. 10 million views in 3 days. From there, things spiraled. What really turned the fire into an inferno? One of the most explosive leaks in Canadian political history. What insiders are now calling the Carney's tapes. A set of 10 classified recordings, allegedly captured during high-level emergency meetings in the Prime Minister's office. In one clip, a voice resembling Mark Carney is heard saying, "We underestimated them. If Alberta gets out, the others will follow. We may need to invoke emergency powers." In another, the same voice discusses deploying military units to strategic infrastructure points. None of this has been officially confirmed. But a former size analyst turned whistleblower says the recordings are 100% real. Ottawa remains silent. But the West? They're not waiting around. In response to Ottawa's rumored plans, Alberta has moved fast. A province-wide mobilization of resources. New surveillance centers. Emergency energy reserves. Rural checkpoints. While Alberta claims it's just precautionary, documents obtained by a fictional CBC insider tell a different story. The province is preparing to function as a fully independent state within 6 months. Saskatchewan is following suit. In Regina, government buildings are being quietly retrofitted with what insiders call isolation mode capabilities, a way to sever federal communications if needed. British Columbia is building an alternate border protocol, allegedly using US-linked satellite networks to manage trade data without Ottawa's oversight. And Manitoba? Despite previous rumors of betrayal, recent intelligence suggests they're all in. Their capital budget? Secretly doubled. Their RCMP liaison office? Suddenly empty. And one document labeled Priority Omega reveals a chilling line. Prepare for total decoupling, Q1 2026. Today, we reveal something we were not supposed to know. A senior federal aide, whose identity we've protected, has leaked a top-secret document titled Project Red Maple. This is no ordinary report. According to the whistleblower, Ottawa is quietly preparing for a multi-scenario fragmentation protocol, a step-by-step breakdown of how to manage a post-Canada reality. The document outlines everything: border controls, emergency asset freezes, even media blackouts in case of Western separation. And here's what's even more chilling. This document was last updated 2 weeks ago. The whispers of censorship are growing louder. Several independent journalists in Western Canada have reported mysterious internet outages. Social media feeds showing #WestVotesYes are allegedly being throttled or removed entirely. Could this be part of what insiders are calling the blackout plan? A covert operation to digitally isolate the West before any referendum goes live? One whistleblower from a major telecom firm claims, "We were told to prepare server-level overrides. No questions asked. Freedom of speech? Or just the illusion of it?" While provincial leaders posture and Ottawa spins its narratives, another voice is rising, the Indigenous nations across Western Canada. A powerful joint statement from over 30 First Nations governments reads, "We are not pawns in your confederation or your coalition. Our sovereignty is not up for negotiation." Some Indigenous leaders are demanding full autonomy if separation occurs, arguing they never ceded land to Canada or these provinces. This raises a dangerous question. If the West breaks free, will it fracture again from within? Footage of protests, drumming ceremonies, and powerful speeches. Behind closed doors, the world is watching and worrying. NATO, Canada's key defense alliance, has gone mysteriously silent on the crisis. Leaked emails show European leaders requesting clarification from Ottawa about the security implications of a partial Canadian breakup. And here's the kicker. NATO War Games in Alaska were suddenly postponed. Sources say they're revising continental defense logistics. Could this be the early stage of realignment, where military infrastructure begins to decouple from Canadian territory? Because if Canada loses the West, it could lose its strategic value. With the referendum clock ticking, campaign ads are flooding the airwaves. Tensions are boiling. People are stockpiling food, moving money out of national banks. Real estate deals are collapsing. Some families are splitting over this issue. We are now in a place no Canadian generation has ever been before. A countdown not just to a vote, but to an identity crisis. A mysterious document has surfaced, allegedly leaked from a closed-door international conference in Geneva. It's titled, Post-Confederation Strategy, North American Realignment. And on page 1, a redrawn map of Canada without the western provinces. The territories absorbed into something labeled Continental Autonomous Zone, West. Experts say this was part of a secret geopolitical planning session, drafted in case of what they called a Canadian federal failure. And look at the fine print. New trade corridors, new defense lines, even proposed currency trials. This isn't just a movement, it's a managed transition. One we were never supposed to see. Amid the politics, protests, and paranoia, one group is left forgotten. The next generation. Teachers across Alberta, Saskatchewan, and BC are receiving new curriculum guidelines. What happens when a child is born in a Canada that's already breaking apart? History repeats itself, but this time it's louder. In 1995, Quebec nearly voted to leave Canada. The country came within 1% of breaking apart. Now, some say that ghost has returned. Only this time, it's the West leading the charge. And here's the kicker. Multiple Quebec MPs have publicly endorsed Western separation. This is no longer a Western crisis. This is a national unraveling. East and West, once divided by culture, now divided by political survival. And the seams are showing. Everywhere. As the countdown continues, so does a quiet rebellion across Canada's institutions. More than 4,000 federal employees across the Western provinces have now resigned from their posts. RCMP officers are requesting reassignments. CRA agents are refusing to collect certain taxes. Even Service Canada centres are simply not reopening. They call it the Great Withdrawal. Not violent, not illegal, but deeply disruptive. Every time someone walks away from the system, the foundation cracks a little more. And in this quiet exodus, power is shifting province by province, desk by desk. With pressure mounting and national unity unraveling, the Prime Minister has made a bold, controversial move. In a surprise address to the nation, delivered not from Ottawa, but from Halifax, the PM announced a national unity tour.
No cameras.
No press. Just private meetings with premiers and Indigenous leaders. But here's what shocked the nation. He's not traveling with the usual motorcade. He's using military aircraft. Why the secrecy? Why the firepower? Some believe this is his final attempt to salvage what's left of Canada. Others believe he's preparing for something else entirely. And every province he visits only seems more divided afterward. This isn't over, because new power structures are forming. And whispers of a second wave, Quebec, the Maritimes, even the North, are spreading. Canada didn't fall in a day. It fell in 1,000 silent cracks over decades. And now, we all feel the rumble.
Subscribe now.
Comment below. What's really going on?